Yep, that's me. When I was younger, more naive, when I had hope before Amityville. Welcome, welcome. What the hell?
It's me!
Why are you here again? Please.
I came back!
Yeah, okay. I
like
know who you
movies.
are.
I like you!
Aren't you just me in the same shirt and a hat, poorly green screened in behind me?
Might not be poorly green screened.
Yeah.
Our editor's pretty good. Don't talk over me. I'm here to help.
Okay. All right. I'm here to talk about Amityville.
I could do that.
And you can help me.
Yeah.
If you just take a step backward. One more step. Okay, stand right there. All right, he's gone. See you in hell, buddy. Today, I wanted to take something on, like, kind of my own personal trip through hell, watching the Amityville movies. The Amityville Horror was a novel written in 1977. It's reported to be a true story. I'm not here to say, that it is or is not. The events that are 100% true and can be proven are Ronald DeFeo, his family was murdered, he was convicted of the crime, he admitted to the crime. So good way to prove that he probably did it, though he changed his story many times, even though he had at one point admitted to the crime, though he tried to add in accomplices, things like that. Again, it doesn't matter. I'm not here, I'm not Judge Chad. What is true is that these murderers were committed in this house, and a year and a month later, the Lutz family moved in, and they reported supernatural events. The book has a priest coming, and that may or may not have happened. There is a paranormal investigator who was supposed to have come. A month after they bought this house for a sweetheart deal, apparently, they vacated the house. The novel came out in 1977. The first movie came out in 1979. The biggest thing that really pushed it to success was the based on a true story part.
You will believe in the Amityville Horror. From the best-selling book that made millions believe in the unbelievable.
And it made so much money that obviously a lot of movies afterwards used the same thing or tried to find real stories to base their things on, or just, use the term like Fargo did. The first Amityville wasn't very good. It was pretty crappy. There aren't a lot of long-running series that start with a bad movie, but Amityville did this. First movie was the story of the Lutzes. The second movie was the story of the DeFeo family. Amityville 3, I'm pretty sure, is based on nothing. After Jay Anson had written the first book, it continued in a series of books, which I'm sure had nothing to do with reality in the slightest way. These books all came out, and they ended up forming the basis for the movies that followed. Right through the 90s, there was a series of, I guess, straight-to-video Amityville movies. Amityville Curse, Amityville Lost in Time, Trapped in Time, Amityville Time Bandits, I don't know. And Amityville Dollhouse, all the way up to 1996, I believe, which is about 10 years before the remake, the big budget Hollywood remake with Ryan Reynolds. Those were the official sequels. Strangely enough, there were no rip-off movies. Any documentaries were about all we got. The movies didn't really start to appear until after the remake. The name of the town, Amityville, can't be copyrighted. It's a name of a town. These people existed, the Lutzes, the DeFeos. These are stories that are part of the public records. Remake comes out, floodgates open, we have a ton of movies. That's where I come in. So I've seen all of what apparently are the official ones. I had no idea that, like, Amityville Curse, Amityville Dollhouse, these all the way up into 96, these were all official. I've seen them, I've seen the remake, and now for your amusement, I'm going to punish myself with, the rest of them. I will come back. I will do bulk reviews. I'll take notes as I go and, come back and go, hey, this was stupid and this was great. Probably not a lot of this is great, though. Probably a lot of this was really stupid. The worst type of bad movie filmmaking is the one where you have the name of the movie before you have a plot or anything. It's not going to be good. I'm not going to come out of this any saner than I was when I started. So the rules for this are I'm going to only include Amityville movies that came out after Dollhouse, ones I haven't seen. I'm not going to do the remake because I've seen that. And I'm only going to do the ones that actually feature the name Amityville in them. I predict that most of them won't be about the house. And it's such a cool house, right? That's the best part of the whole movie series. But I think some of them will move away from that. I could be wrong. I'm going to quickly go through the ones that are on there, look at the posters, and give some predictions. And then at the end, maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. My biggest hope for like this entire list is that somewhere someone had a really great idea, a lot of passion for making their movie, and like decided to just put Amityville on the front of the, like on the name so that they could sell it a little easier. And it's like this brilliant, independent, super effort, best movie they've ever made, bad taste kind of movie, but it won't be. It won't be. Eventually I'll get a haircut. You'll see me looking very different. I might even change my shirt at one point. Hey, what the hell? You'll see me change because this is going to take me a couple of weeks. All right, well, we're in it now. Good news and bad news. Good news for me. Bad news is also for me. So the bad news is I've already started and I'm 4 movies in and there's like 40 left or some bullshit like that. The good news is there's actually a few less than when I started with. A bunch of these movies aren't available. One of them is a documentary, so I'm going to skip that one. And yeah, so, maybe a few less movies. And a few of them are shorts. So, it's like getting an hour and 20 minutes of your life back. Woo! So let's go through the ones I've seen and see what I think. Amityville Haunting. It's found footage. It's just paranormal activity. I don't know, maybe in 2011 I might have been more forgiving to this movie, but I mean, it's not just found footage. It is paranormal activity. Let's set cameras up around our house for security. And if you don't like paranormal activity, I totally understand. I'm a fan of some of them. But at least it was doing that with like some kind of budget and like some creativity, like there's a ghost under a sheet and then the sheet falls, stuff actually happened that was kind of cool. No, not in this one. Not at all. Nothing happens in this movie. And there's this line, like it's just...
Was somebody murdered?
It's hilariously bad. This where he's like, he goes over and like punches a ghost. Like, how is that supposed to work, buddy? Come on now. The dad sucks and spoilers, but don't watch the movie, so don't worry about spoilers. It looks like he dies from a titty twister. I mean, it's a knife to the heart, but whatever. It looks like a titty twister. So let's take a look at how I did on my predictions. Amityville Haunting. We've got the very traditional looking house. I mean, it's very close anyways. That one's from 2011. You know what? It's gonna be found footage. That's my prediction on that one. It's gonna be crappy found footage, low budget, bad lighting. Holy shit, I was dead on. Found footage? You got it, buddy. Like, you know what? I almost should rank it higher just based on how good my guess was. But I'm not gonna. The only reason this is not going into E tier, it's going into D tier, is, I don't know, man, there's gonna be worse. There's gonna be far, far worse. I can always shuffle them later. D tier. Amityville Asylum. This is like a real movie all of a sudden. We got people acting. We've got like camera work. And like, I don't understand. Maybe it's to make it look like a higher budget movie, but it's like this 2.35, right? But they do everything in these close-ups on people. Here's my face, and here's like a bunch of the wall behind me for some reason. It's really, really dumb. It should have been like a 1.33. It should have been 4:3. Like, it's all faces. There's no scenery. I don't even know. Oh, they do leave up buildings a little bit, but it's mostly in this asylum. I think the funniest thing in it is this girl here, who consistently, probably because, I don't know, bad accents, there's definitely, this was not shot in Long Island, New York.
Are you seriously telling me that you have never heard of the Amityville Horror House?
Amityville. You know, there's like one thing you got to get right is the name of the town, and you can't do it. Let's go to my predictions. Amityville Asylum 2013. I mean, Ghosts in an Asylum. I'm not predicting found footage for that one. I think it might have a couple good scares. Even just the poster is a little better than I would expect. Definitely an asylum. No scares. So 50-50 we'll call it. Yeah, I'm not giving that a very good rank. It is a movie. I'm going to put it in D tier for now. It is better than Amityville Haunting. Amityville Death House. You would not believe how excited I was when I saw Mark Polonia's name come on screen. But you know what? Things are starting to look up. Even if it's not going to be good, it's not going to be good. Even though it's not going to be good, it's going to be better than what I just watched. In fact, the opening credits are glommed together from the climax of the movie. So, I mean, it does kind of spoil some stuff you're going to see later on, but it gives you an idea that you're going to actually see something later on. So, points for that. You know what? That's fine. It gave me an idea what I was going to be seeing, and it was pretty cool. It brought me into the movie. It was a little confusing. I wasn't sure what was going on, and then they did the 24 hours earlier kind of thing. It does make it feel like I'm watching a sequel or like something, but it quickly makes sense in a second or two after that. So you get some bad special effects. Actually, the special effects aren't bad. There's some effort put into them. But, you know, the simple, easy snowflake plug-in for snow falling, which is fine. And actually, I do like the fact that they filmed in a snowy area. So you actually do get something that looks a little bit different, which is cool. The whole thing is very, very Evil Dead. I like Evil Dead 2. Sure, let's go for it. Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead as well. I like them all. So that's fine. You know, you want to rip it off, you want to put your movie in there, go for it. We do get like a 6 boob thing. I don't know if I'm going to put that up there or not. I feel like I don't know. If I put it up, I'm going to have to block it. If I block it, what's the point of putting it up? Anyways, that was it was fun. It was different. It was weird. And the Spider Woman, like, it was it's a cool concept. Maybe not have been the best execution. It's Polonia Brothers, right? Or maybe it's just one of them working now. It's Mark Polonia. It's not going to be like the best, but it's all right. I'm going to put that B tier. Not like B tier for all the movies I've ever seen, but I have a really low bar for what all of these movies will be. Let's see how I did on my predictions. Amityville Death House, clearly a grindhouse poster. Poster's promising a lot. I predict it's going to be one of the worst ones, but I also predict that it's going to probably have a monster in it. I mean, that's a lot. That's going by the cover, but you know what? I was 50-50 on that one. I predicted it would be one of the worst ones, and so far it's not. It's definitely not going to be. The acting's bad, but the movie, yeah, it's got some fun. But I did predict there'd be a monster in it, and I was right. So, you know, B tier. Amityville Playhouse is crap. Amityville Playhouse is by far the worst one so far. I think Death House had like really bad acting. This one probably actually trumps that, which is impressive. Like it is actually worse, and nothing happens in it. It's a piece of shit, low budget, one location. Even the way they tell the story is like flawed and janky. They do this thing with flashbacks, like they tell you what happened. Oh, I got the keys from so-and-so. And then they flash back to show you her get the keys from so-and-so. And it's just so pointless. Padding a movie is always a bad idea anyways. Padding, it feels like padding. But the movie's like an hour and 40 minutes. It doesn't need anything to make it longer. It needs things to make it shorter. This movie should have been like an hour. Should have never been made. This movie should have been like 70 minutes. That's like the length of, that's more than the plot. And then there's like a weird dynamic between the brothers, it's so weird. I've got brothers, so I know what that dynamic can be like. The older brother is like teasing and sort of bullying the younger brother, but the younger brother's like physically bullying the older brother. He is taller. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. It's so weird. And just from a strictly technical aspect, buy a fucking tripod. Buy a tripod, please. What is this bullshit? So this one, again, is the other one that felt Eastern European. This one, I think it's got UK in the credits, and it feels like half the people are like fighting their accents. And then, just to add to the list of crimes this movie commits against your sanity, they do this really patronizing, weird thing where they take a minute and explain that, you know, the Native American cultures, the indigenous cultures in America had they had culture. They were societies and you know, And I think it was sort of to mitigate the fact that later on it was going to be evil native magic that was like the bad guy in the movie, kind of. So, yay. Good job, guys. Now let's see how my predictions went. Amityville Playhouse. So obviously we've got a, like, haunted. I mean, we already had Amityville Dollhouse. Now we got Playhouse. They're just, Amityville gets shrunk down into a dollhouse. Yeah, I don't know, a possessed child, I'm guessing, some kind of possessed kid. On Playhouse, I was a little bit off the mark. Apparently, I didn't realize the Playhouse was going to be like a theater. So, yeah, anyways, dead wrong on that one, which is too bad. I don't know, that would have been better. Killer Kid would have been a better movie. I'm going to put it E tier. This is the worst one so far. And things might get shuffled later, but E for now. All right, well, that's The Batch.